Welcome to Millionaire Before 30.
What's up? What's up?
We're on a mission.
Dude, we are on a mission that is right. Guys, we are so excited for you to be here. We have literally designed this show for you guys, and we've given you an exact blueprint of how to become a millionaire before 30 years old.
I love that TikTok. I love that one, breaking the simulation. I think a lot of times, and people think simulation like the Matrix. I think simulation like you're put into this box based on the way you were brought up, based on the things that you put into your brain, the things you're paying attention to, the people that you hang out with, the goals that you have. All of these things put you into a certain box that you can absolutely break out of if you just start taking action and being a real entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I love how you said it too. I mean, I always refer to it as variables, but you don't really understand until you take a step back and you can look at it from the outside in. Like people are stuck in this rat race and just their own minds. What's out there and what's possible? It gets me excited, man.
Gets me excited as well. So this is great, guys. This is a question and answer show. We're gonna break down in the beginning of the show what it actually takes to take home $1 million. Because remember, a lot of people talk about the gross amount that they make.
Right.
Not it being disgusting gross, but the gross, the full amount that they make. And then there's obviously expenses and the ever dreaded personal income taxes, right? This all affects, you don't just make $1 million and you keep $1 million. It doesn't work like that. I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP.
I'm Ryan Zolan, and we've got the man, the myth, the legend.
What's going on, gentlemen? Good to be here.
Got Albert Bowie.
Yeah. Tell them who you are, Albert.
Oh, sorry, guys. It's Albert here in the house.
Awesome.
Got a little excited.
So listen, here's the breakdown, and I think that this is really interesting. Matt, will you put up that graphic that I think is very common? I think a lot of people have seen this on Instagram, have seen this on TikToks, have seen this all over the place. It's basically, wait, we'll get it in just a second. Matt's working on it, but it's basically the breakdown of how do you actually earn $1 million, right? But that tells you kind of the roadmap of how many transactions you have to do, or how many products you have to sell, or how much value you have to provide. But then it doesn't really necessarily tell you how to keep that money, which I think is really important, which we're going to talk about today.
For sure.
So pop that on there, Matt, when you get a chance. There you go. This is very common, right? 5,000 people at a $200 product, all the way to 5 people at a $200,000 product. And obviously that could be within a year, or that could just be within an undisclosed amount of time. But that's what what you need to do to make $1 million. What's your guys' average wholesale deal or flip deal right now?
So right now, our average commission is usually about $20,000, and then our average assignment fee is about $15,000, so about $35,000.
$35,000 per deal.
Per deal,
right?
correct.
So you divide that by $1 million. If somebody has a calculator, I would say how many deals is that? That's 3 to get to 100,000. So 30 deals.
It sounds about
and
right.
it's $1 million.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
The bigger the deals that you do, obviously, the more that you can make. That's why we really stress on this channel doing big, massive deals. Because, listen, it's the same amount of effort. Would you agree to do a deal that you make $5,000 as $50,000?
I would actually say the $50,000 deals in some cases are easier.
What do you think, Albert?
I mean, it's the same amount of work to pull the money, so why not go for the bigger fish?
Right.
Right.
I love it. So that is, first of all, there's a 30-30-30 or a 33-33-33% rule, right? Okay. Typically, if you look at the U.S. tax law, you're going to look at whatever you're making, whatever regular income you make. Once you get up to a certain amount of income, you get taxed more.
Yep.
And typically, we're taught as real estate agents, as real estate entrepreneurs, as real estate investors, put aside 30% of everything that you make so that you don't get caught up with taxes. Because what a lot of us do, because we're renegades and we like to run and gun, we go out there, we make a ton of money, and then we're constantly putting that money to work, and we're not setting it aside. And then the tax bill comes, and it's April, and we're like, oh my gosh, we got to file an extension so that we don't have to pay it till October. And then we're using this year's profits
to basically
to
catch
pay
up.
last year's taxes.
Yep.
And it's always this game of cat and mouse.
Right.
And so when you're really looking at, do I need to make $1 million and divided by 12 months in this year, it's $83,333
Yep.
a month. How do you keep that?
Right.
How is that something that you actually are bringing home, and that's after tax money? What we're telling you now is you got to add another 30% on top of that.
Yep.
Plus, if we're running our businesses right, what do you think the overhead is? Overhead for running the business.
So I mean, it just depends on your model, obviously.
Sure.
For us, I would say probably about like 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think most people are probably at 30% once you put in.
Oh, absolutely. But you got to remember too, like
people.
I factor with that more the health insurances, the let's say they have company vehicles, they've got salaries, they've got the payroll tax. There's a lot more that goes into it rather than our side where it's just MLS and agents.
Right.
So I mean, we're a little bit of a different category, but yeah, I would agree 20 to 30% is about average.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
it's crazy.
Well, and listen, I know people that are 70, 80% overhead, 90% overhead. You know what I mean? They're keeping 10% for themselves. They might make $1 million, but they're taking home 100,000, 120,000.
Yep.
And that's real life in this business because people try to hire too fast and delegate too fast because everybody falls in love and gets romantic with the idea of I'm going to work on my business and not in my business. Guess what? You're not in that season. If you're just starting this thing out and you're not making significant income to take home, and you're like, I'm going to just start delegating everything because that's what all these big business people do, you're going to be out of business. You're going to be out of business, or you're just not going to take as much home, and you're going to be basically, you just have a job at that point. You have a job of managing your whole company, and you're getting paid $100,000, $200,000, $250,000 a year when you could be getting paid way more because you're actually working in the business.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
How many times do you see people just try to get out of the business right away and start working at that 30,000-foot view?
I was guilty of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it twice. I failed growing a team twice, traditional real estate team and an investment
What
team.
happened?
I tried to scale too quick. I thought more bodies meant more production. And then I also got full of myself by being like just too distracted. I wasn't in tunnel vision mode. I wasn't like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. I was like, I could have this person do this person do that. And then what ends up happening is when you don't have that full control, it creates almost like this ego and entitlement within the people of the organization.
Yep.
And then your culture fails.
Right.
So I just scaled too quickly and got ahead of myself. But
When's the right time to grow the business and to work on it, not in it?
So reading the book Who Not How definitely got that all clear for me.
Okay.
It was once I was able to realize that I had enough consistency where we were doing at least 5 deals a month, and I had enough in place to where my pipeline was built out for the next 30 to 60 days.
Yep.
So it was like I wasn't even concerned about the deals we had going on that month. I was already ahead of myself onto the next.
Love it.
So I felt like it was a little almost overwhelming. I think that was a moment of clarity where I was like, okay, overwhelming, but in a good way. We've got a lot going on. I need a transaction coordinator.
Yep.
I need an Albert. I need another acquisition person. I could still handle dispositions, but maybe now I need a realtor.
Yeah.
So I needed like all these different people in place. And it was once I had realized that I knew how to grow the business accordingly rather than just wanting to do it to, like you said, work on the business.
Yeah.
So.
I listen, I love when people want to take things off their plate from operations standpoint.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
From, really getting into the nitty gritty of transaction coordination or doing some of the getting whatever lists that you need for lead generation. But what I see is people try to stop their lead generation too soon personally.
Yep.
They truly do.
Yep.
And it's a huge, huge, huge problem.
Yep.
Because if you stop the lead generation, if you stop the income generation part of your business while you're in the hustle season, it's a season. It's not a lifetime.
Yep.
It's a season. But there is, when you are an entrepreneur in the beginning, whether it be the first 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years of that hustle season, if you get out of the lead generation side of your business, it's going to be a problem. Unless you have a partner that does it.
For sure.
Unless you have a partner that's 50-50 in it.
But even then, I mean, if you don't do it the right way and you don't scale accordingly, there's usually tension that starts to form between you and the partnership.
That's right.
Because then the partner, the one that is doing most of the work, they start to question what your value is.
Well, think about it. Somebody's out there hunting.
Yes.
Somebody out there is gathering.
Yes.
I mean, You're
Do
like,
the math.
what are you doing? You're sitting back and you're doing the things that don't really bring in income. We can hire somebody to do that.
Absolutely, on
right?
a $50,000 a year salary.
Yep.
Yep. I actually, I have to give a shout out to Templeton. He was the first person that kind of taught me that the most money that you can make is the deals you do yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where it was like my first lesson of trying to scale too quickly was that I actually was trying to scale my traditional team. That was the first time I failed. I had 23 people that I was in charge of at 19 years old with a 50-50 business partner.
Right.
So I started thinking again.
Taking home how much?
130.
Right.
130. Nothing special.
Out of how much?
We were doing like 15 to 20 million a year in sales.
Right.
So I mean, you do the math.
700,000.
Like, yeah, give or take. Like it was even pretty close to $1 million in commission. Why was I, as a business owner, making 130?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
What do you think, Albert?
I'm thinking it through because I'm still very new to this, right? I'm not
Right.
as seasoned as Ryan here or yourself. And it's true. You get into this speed, you're like, oh, maybe if I fix this, I can do this. Maybe if I hire this out, or if I do it myself, I save money. You just get caught in this mindset of just, I have to do it myself. I have to do it myself. And what I'm learning here is that limits my green time. That limits my time to produce my deals, because that's the one where the margins are the most. So you really have to sit down and think about it. Where is your time spent most valuable? As much as you want to do everything, you can't.
Yep. Matt, will you pull up the blueprint? We're going to get into this early on because this is it, right? You start out and first you do a deal, right? You just get some income coming in from your efforts, like magic floating through the ether. You are putting your service and your skills and your abilities out there, and in return for that, you get income, right? The income that you make, the personal income that you make, comes from the amount of value you provide to the marketplace, to your community, right? In the beginning, during this hustle season that we talk about, you trade your time to make money.
Yep.
And then once you get that going, and once you know and it's solid in your brain that you can do this, that your efforts will bring in income, then you go to step number 2,
which is going full time. I mean, you almost have to take a leap of faith and jump into this with 2 feet and not look back. There's a certain level of like commitment that when you make the promise to yourself and you don't look back, that's the true entrepreneur mindset.
Yep.
So step 1, I always call this proof of concept. Once you're able to understand and actually see that this is powerful and that you could do it, you believe in yourself more than you normally would. Once you're full time in the business, you get to see your results actually start to obviously scale, double the amount of income you're doing, all because you just believe in yourself and you're doing it full time. That obviously leads to step number 3.
Killing the debt. Kill the debt. Once you go full time in the business, you're growing this, right? You're bringing this machine to life. This is you getting in there, going full time with your efforts, trading the time for money, then starting to build out your team by taking over operations, taking over the transactions, taking over the little details every single day so that you can go out there and generate leads. Generate leads. And when you do that, the income comes in so that you can kill the debt and stop being somebody else's return on investment, right? Anytime that you have consumer debt, whether that be student loans really aren't consumer debt, but I'll bulk them in there. Student loans, credit cards, car payments, kills everybody. You want to go Google the average amount that people that Americans spend on their cars. It's ridiculous. It buries you early. As a young person, drive a crappy car that doesn't cost a lot. I am telling you, you are going to be able to save so much money and be able to invest in that, or you're going to be able to go full time in this business a lot faster if you don't have that big axe hanging over your neck every single month saying, hey, listen, you need to pay $1,000, $1,500 on your transportation. It's bananas. Stop it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Right? If you're buying the car to flex on people, that's silly. If you're buying the car to, find that guy or gal in your life, how's that? That's a good way to start a relationship? Stop it. Focus on the things that matter long term, and that is you building a successful business and not putting all of your profits into somebody else's bank account.
Whew.
I'm fired up today on that.
Dang.
No Ferraris.
Come on.
All right.
All right.
So you're back at square one. Here you are. You got to end up investing into assets.
That's it.
That's what buys your Ferrari.
Yep.
So you're going to go and you're going to buy real estate. You're going to invest into some things that have
right.
actual return on investment that creates what we call as cash flow. So obviously I can't get as much fired up on that going from Brent.
No, but the money creates time.
It does.
You go
And-
from, you know?
And I love what you say on this 5th step. You always use the word control. But financial freedom is exactly that.
That's it.
That's what leads to step number 5. After you invest in the assets, that's what gives you the play money. It allows you to have the full freedom and flexibility, which is step number 5.
Time for money. The money comes in. If you don't let it slip through your fingers, you can buy the assets, and then those assets give you more time.
Ferraris.
And time and more Ferraris. Sure. But have your assets pay for that.
Absolutely.
But listen,
Right.
if you are letting it go and slip through your hands because you're getting over your skis with your expenses and buying all these things because you want this lifestyle that you see that's totally faked, right? It's totally,
Right.
it's not real. That you see with everybody putting their best foot forward on social media or YouTube or whatever else, that's entertainment. You understand that. That's not their life, right? It's little glimpses. It's little moments in time. If you were to follow around the people that you think are so amazing, and maybe there are some amazing people on social media that you're following, but follow them around for 24 hours, it would break your heart.
It would.
It would break
Without a doubt.
absolutely break your heart. So stay focused. Focus on providing value, time for money, bringing it in, and then invest in the assets so that the money comes from those assets so that you have more time to do the things you want.
Love it.
Right?
Wow.
Because you could go ham on this. You could go real hard for 7 to 10 years
Yep.
and be set for life.
Yeah.
And I'm talking you're starting at 18 to 28,
Done.
and now you have a freedom,
Right.
and now you break out of the simulation because you're not listening to what everybody else is doing, which is constantly like keeping up with everybody else.
Keeping up with the Joneses,
I'm
man.
telling you, man.
All day.
Joneses are broke.
I mean, think about it. Put this into perspective, right? You're talking about 18 to 28. Time is the only thing that we have on this planet that we can never get back.
That's it.
You can buy your Ferrari. You can
Yep.
buy any expensive thing you want. You'll get your money back. You'll get whatever you want out of it. Time is the one thing that you can never get back. So you really want to spend $100,000 on a watch to flex for 2 years and then spend the rest of your life working your 9 to 5?
Right.
Is that worth it?
Right. That's it. Plus, you can rent all those things. You can go on Turo right now and get a Lamborghini for the day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You could go take as many photo shoots. That's another thing. Listen, if you're following people that are constantly doing photo shoots, come on, man.
Come on.
Oh,
We got to get our
man.
own segment of Come On, Man.
I mean, it's just, I see
Yeah.
all these photo shoots. I'm like, how do they have time for this? How are they providing value? How are they running their 15 businesses or their 7 businesses and doing photo shoots all the time? You know what I mean? What do you think? Put it on Honda for a second. What do you think of that? Think it's real?
Give us some insight.
No, I do not.
What do you think of people that do a bunch of photo shoots all the time, flexing?
I definitely think that they're not hiding. They're hiding the fact of their business, and most likely they're not doing as much as they are saying they're doing. So I definitely wouldn't get into mentorship with people that do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Got it. Love it. Let's crack this thing open. Let's
do it.
guys, this, for the next hour and 12 minutes, we're going to be answering any questions that you have about wholesaling real estate, investing in real estate, building a business, hiring, saving for taxes, all of these things that you want to talk about. Obviously, we're not CPAs, but we'll be able to answer as well as we can. So let's crack this open to any questions, comments that you guys have. Any? Okay. Alejandra's just doing that for herself. Butts and Donuts sweater. All right. That's
There you go. There you go.
Alejandra's sweater. Brendan loves it. There you go. Awesome. Michael, possible Tinder swindler situation.
Have you seen
LOL.
that?
Yes,
Have you
that is such a good documentary.
Okay,
is
let's
that?
talk about it. I'm not too familiar. I've seen it a few
haven't seen
times, but
Basically, this guy, the Tinder swindler, kept hustling women for money. So he would say that he was a diamond a diamond guy, and people are after him. So he would be like, "Oh, they took my credit cards," and ask girls for money, and they would take out loans. These girls would take out like loans, 50, 60K loans. He gets the money and then is like spending it on another girl, and it's just like this constant like, another girl, another girl, another girl. Pyramid scheme.
He's like some like Prince or something. Needs some money.
Dang.
And that's Netflix or something?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, Michael. Happy Friday Eve. Ryan, what creative deals have you done with MLS listings?
It's a good,
Great
that's a really
question.
good question. So we actually haven't done any creative deals on the MLS yet. I've got a few people in like the sub-2 community or people that are just in the industry that I know that are pretty fluent in creative finance. So if I ever come across something like where the numbers don't make sense and I hear the motivation from the agent or I know the seller's situation, then I'll refer them out. We're not really messing around with it too much. There's a lot of opportunity for it. The hardest part is just compensation to the other realtor.
Right.
Listing agents usually have an agreement where they're going to get commission, and so then when you come
There
back
has
with
to be cash to come in
exactly.
to pay them.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes they put creative deals on the MLS that you can find,
Seller finance. Yeah.
but in my experience, they haven't been good deals.
No, it's more seller finance than it is sub-2 as
Yeah.
well.
What about continuous millions of dollars pouring in? How do we create that flow? Jasmine asks. Love it. Well, first of all, it starts with getting your first deal in.
Yep.
And then it starts with getting your first deal every month. And then your first deal every week. And then building from there. So, getting continuous millions coming in is building a machine that provides millions of dollars of value to the marketplace. So how do you do that? Let's talk about that. There are, and we know, millions of vacant properties. We know that there are millions of distressed properties. 6 to 10% of the real estate market is in distress at all times. So how many of those are you going to serve? How many of those people are you going to have a quality conversation with, pre-qualify them, follow up with those leads, get them under contract and work with them? Whether you want to flip it, whether you want to keep it in your portfolio, or whether you want to assign that deal and wholesale it. Right? So what is your strategy? What do you want to do? How do you want to build that? Are you going to, the exit strategy is really the thing that you have to figure out. The first two, lead generation and conversion, is the same across the board in real estate. Right? In lead generation, you're either buying people to call you, you're paying for people to call you, you're waiting for people to call you with referrals, you're buying them through marketing, or you're going out there and you're being proactive and you're calling them. You're going after them. And when it comes to conversion, you're pre-qualifying them, right? Based on the condition, timeline, motivation, and price of that property. You're doing your lead follow-up, and then your ravenous lead follow-up, aggressive lead follow-up, and then you are converting that to a signed contract by doing a really, really great offer presentation. And then from there, what's your exit strategy? What happens, Jasmine, is for continuous millions of dollars, in my experience that I've seen, people start with learning how to wholesale. And then they start getting in. You want to go, Matt, do you have that wholesale as the foundation? And then you go into all the other verticals here that you can get into. Fix and flip, rental portfolio, development, being the bank, and then coaching and mentorship. That's all different ways to generate those millions of dollars. And I see most people go from wholesaling to fix and flip and to development.
There you go.
That's how they get the continuous millions of dollars. Great question. But that's the blueprint. Don't over think it. Don't overcomplicate it. Find great deals. That's how you start. Learn how to source discounted properties.
Yep.
And then the sky's the limit. Ugly houses, big checks, Jasmine. There you go.
All right. From Remodel You. More important is, why do you want to be a millionaire? Do you actually have a reason to be one? I think that's a fantastic conversation.
It's a great question.
Yeah. I think there's like a lot of like conspiracy behind, people have this like goal of being a millionaire because they think there's gonna be a crown that pops up the minute you hit that status.
Sure.
So I think asking the right question there is, do you have a reason to be one? I think it goes back to your why. For me, it's like, it's impact, and I understand I need to have a lot of money and a lot of backing in a community to be able to make that impact.
Yeah.
So
I think I think for a lot of people it's insecurity.
Oh, absolutely.
The goal of being a millionaire is an insecurity because they didn't get attention growing up.
Yep.
Maybe they were the smallest kid. Maybe they were the dorkiest kid. Maybe their parents didn't give them attention. Maybe their brothers beat the shit out of them all the time. You know,
Right.
whatever else.
Right.
There's a lot of insecurities that are brought in there that is filled with going after and getting a lot of or being in control of being a business owner, having control, and earning a bunch of money.
Yep.
And you think that once that happens, that fills that insecurity that you have.
sure.
It doesn't. I mean, it certainly helps to not be broke.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think if you can either go at this as, you've got a negative influence that's really pushing you, which works for sure, or you've got a positive one that says, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to see in my lifetime how much value I can provide to the world from a business standpoint, from an actual providing some sort of service to the community that they're going to pay me for. I think that's a different discussion. I think it's a different mentality. I think it's a different North Star that points you towards something that's a lot more positive, as opposed to I need to fill this hole inside me that is missing. But I think both can work. I think I have a mixture of both, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I grew up and it was great, and I had a great childhood, great family, great everything, but I always wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the best athlete. I wanted to get the best grades. It was just innate in me. Like, as soon as I was born, that was just the way that I am. And I see it in my son as well. It's like he's going to do everything himself. He's going to go and do these things.
So how is that an insecurity?
I think that it's like if I feel insecure if I'm not providing value.
Okay.
If I'm not out there.
So it's insecure in a good way, though. It's an insecurity that you want to be able to provide value.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to check my ego.
For sure.
I think I keep it around, and I haven't dissolved it because it keeps me from getting too big-headed.
For sure.
I think it didn't get me early on because I was successful early, and then it crushed when I lost it all, and I know that feeling, so I still have that hangover in the back of my head of losing everything and having judgments and like really being behind the ball. Losing 5 houses, repoing 2 cars, having a $740,000 judgment on me at 26 years old. Wow. It affects the way that you're going through a divorce, having a baby a couple years later, and all that stuff is like, holy cow, this is wild, this is real, there's some insecurity about I need to set up my life so that I don't feel that again.
For sure. And
that's what I mean.
And I think that adds a lot of humility to your situation where you're able to understand where you were, and that's what makes it even better for where you're at today.
Absolutely.
So, and I also like to say, too, there's a big difference between ego and confidence.
Yeah,
you don't ever strike me as an ego. It's always confidence.
No, and I think that you can mix in pride and courage in there as well.
Sure.
I have a lot of pride in what we do. I have a lot of pride in the people that work with me. I have a lot of pride in the people that I coach. I have a lot of pride in the shows that we do and the squad that we have. Right? And so, and I have the courage to go out there and take the risks.
For sure. And I also think that ego and pride sometimes contradict each other.
Of
so
course.
I don't think that they mix all that well.
Yeah. Here you go. I once read, you don't have to be a millionaire to live like a millionaire.
For sure. I love that. I would say it's more
How does a millionaire live?
So I just like a normal person.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you. So you don't have to pay the power surge. Yeah, I get it. So I mean, that's an interesting conversation. There's some great books, Xavier, on that, right? The Millionaire Next Door, the Millionaire. What's the one by Harv? Millionaire Mind, I think it is. Okay. Some of those ones that are really interesting.
The Automatic
that you can get
Millionaire.
into.
What was that?
The Automatic Millionaire.
The Automatic
That's a good
Millionaire.
one.
That's fantastic. I just, I was thinking about it last night as I was just mentally preparing for the show. I was like, why is a millionaire still dope? It's been awesome since like the 30s. Like being a billionaires, but more people are like millionaire. I want to be a millionaire.
For sure. I think it's more attainable.
I think it's just a cool word.
You want to know the stats? I did some research on this.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
According to the 2021 Global Wealth Report by CreditWise, 21.9 people in the United States are millionaires. Over half of them live in a neighborhood where the median income is less than $75,000 household.
No shit.
So the millionaire really is next door. And they measure that based on their assets, everything put together. So it's really attainable. It clearly shows that there's no stopping you. You can do it. It's not this. You're in the simulation. If you break out of it, you can definitely see.
What's
it's
the
attainable.
average age?
Oof.
It's like 58.
50, yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this show is about Millionaire Before 30 as a benchmark, as doing this. The whole core, the heart of the show is hustle.
Yep.
Put it in, keep your head down, 7 to 10 years, get to that point, right? You started at 19. 18.
Yep.
25 now.
24.
24 now. When are you 25?
I just turned 24.
Oh,
No.
Yeah, I
jeez.
just turned 24.
That's me.
And
Yeah.
crushing it.
Yeah.
How old are you?
25. Just turned 25.
There you go. Andy, no questions. Let's just go. I agree.
Come on.
I agree, Andy.
Let's get
Let's just go. You know,
Keep it going.
who are you going to talk to today that you can be of service to?
Yep.
Honestly, who is going to sign a contract today? Who is going to commit to working with you today? What are the small wins that you're going to stack today? Are you going to, finally drive around and find ugly properties? That's a win. Are you going to get out and are you going to put it into an app or write it down, that address down? That's a win. Are you going to call them? That's a win. You're going to text them? That's a win. All of these small wins equal the big wins, but we have to get out of our own way. We have to have that courage to go and take action, be proactive every single day. And what I have found is the people that don't think, the people that do that 5-second rule where you're just like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, you're calling, you're doing something, you're taking whatever action that you know is going to be beneficial for the community and for yourself.
Absolutely.
Those are the people that win.
For sure.
People that don't overthink.
And I love that we keep using the word simulation. I think it's like, honestly, people are stuck in it.
Yep.
Like they can't break out.
Yeah.
Especially at this young age.
Well, what if people reject you?
Oh my gosh.
What if people are mean to you?
What's that saying? It's like at a certain age you realize that like this whole time no one was actually caring about you and they weren't even focused on you because they were worried about themselves. Who cares about rejection?
Yeah.
I like Gary Vee talks about it all the time. He says like there's this example when he was talking about sponsorships and it's like he was referring to like a JanSport backpack.
Yeah.
You're gonna go and become like a sponsor of a backpack company. You're gonna get rejected 50 times before you find the one that says yes.
Yeah.
But if you keep going, you're gonna have 5 offers and you get to pick between 5.
That's it.
It's the name of the game.
That's it. So it's okay to go full time and have some business debt already.
Guess it depends on how much debt we're talking and what the stability is behind it. Like if you're producing income that has enough to cover whatever the debt is in monthly payments, I mean, that's a personal decision then.
I think if you go full time, that'll kill your debt
It can. It
because
has more potential.
you're going to have more opportunities to make more income and provide more value.
The most important piece here is make sure you're doing step 1, which is doing a deal.
Right.
You have to be consistently going and making sure you're getting a deal, whether it's monthly, every other month, and they've got to be consistent.
Yep. Love it. What do you recommend for an entrepreneur to do for health insurance without marrying a spouse to have benefits? Yeah, exactly, Ralph.
That's a good question.
Yeah, you just Google it. Just Google health insurance for entrepreneurs, and or just post to social media and say, who in here knows somebody that can help me with health insurance?
Yeah.
And get a referral. That's what I did.
What do you think the average cost is for health insurance?
Depends. I mean, it depends on if it's just you or if you have kids or if you have everything else. But the health insurance is kind of wacky right now.
Yep.
I think I pay. What's that?
Mine is
120. Yeah.
120 a month.
It's about that.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's about that. Depends on how big your deductible is.
For sure.
I think if you're at a 5,000 deductible or 10,000 deductible, that's probably right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, we're like $500 a month for the family.
Okay.
And then, obviously you have a deductible. So.
For sure.
Yep.
That's a really good question. All right, from Steven. Question here. Had my first deal and I needed to cancel, and the realtor mentioned she wanted to receive $1,000 for a client, and I am a bit confused.
Earnest money.
Yeah, so I think he actually threw this one in our Discord, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
The most important...
Talk about the Discord real quick.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Absolutely.
What are you talking about?
It's our Discord community.
This is some
it's like a
next level stuff here.
It's like a mixture between like a Facebook group and like a Slack messaging system.
Yep.
And basically it's free for our community, and we just answer a bunch of questions in there every single day.
What is it? How do you get into your Discord?
It's on my Instagram, so they just go into the link in my bio and then they can join it. Like I said, it's free. I put as much value in there as I can, and they also get a bunch of like sneak peek previews of stuff that we're doing before we launch it on social media.
And you inspired us. Matt has been building it, right, Matt? Will you come over here and talk on the microphone, tell everybody when they can expect it? Put it on you first before you get over there. There we go. Okay. When can we expect this Discord, Matt?
Good stuff.
Probably within the next month, I'm shooting for. We're going to open up to the community.
Okay.
And it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of interaction, and We're gonna have the whole team on there, so it'll be great. Just waiting for.
And is it on a certain platform? Is
It is
Discord
Discord.
the platform?
It'll be on Discord, yeah,
Okay.
and we'll be posting it everywhere, so it'll be easy to find.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that old commercial that's like, do you know how to post videos to Facebook? You know, that's how I feel about Discord. I have no idea.
Dude,
It'd
I
be
gotta
great.
tell you, I think Discord is the way of the future.
Yeah.
Like, you can have like specific channels for like your staff or for members of a specific community and stuff. So, yeah, we're super excited about that.
Awesome.
So,
yeah,
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
if you're not in Ryan's Discord, make sure that you jump in there. He's very active in it. I mean, he was doing it before the show, after the show, in the show. You know, he's getting after it. So, earnest money
Yeah.
was not due for another 4 days, and I canceled prior. Does this still apply? Talk to the title company, Steven.
Yeah, and also it just depends if you're in your inspection period. I heard you say realtor in the first part, and I saw that again in the Discord. I would just say that if you were in your inspection period and you had the ability to cancel during that, your earnest money goes back to you. The realtor may be asking for that $1,000 just because they're trying to go to bat for their client, and they don't want the client to walk out of there without any money. But just understand your rights, and like Brent said, talk to the title company. They'll tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, just talk to the title company, closing attorney. You got it.
Yep.
Bryson Walker asks, I got a deal on the MLS. It's listed at 410 and it's fully remodeled. The highest comp in the area is 620. Looks like a deal, but I'm having analysis paralysis. Any thoughts?
Yeah, so I've got a few questions. First off, is that 410 fully remodeled? If you're buying it fully remodeled, there's a chance that might be where the ARV is. That 620, how comparable are we? Are we 1,000 square feet bigger at 620? If you have actual comps that are at 620 and you just bought one that's fully remodeled at 410, there's something there that doesn't make sense to me. So,
yeah, Bryson, how long has it been on the market?
Yep.
Have you talked to the agent, seen if they have other offers?
Yep.
The agent, their whole job is to get the most money for that client as possible. And if it's fully remodeled and it's $200,000 lower than the rest of the stuff in the neighborhood, there should be 1,000 offers on it.
absolutely.
There should be, you know, an incredible amount of bidding going on in that property. If it's not, then there's probably something unique about that property that's holding back the value.
Yep.
How many fully remodeled properties do you guys
Buy?
wholesale and flip?
For every 50 properties, 0.
Right. Right. So, Bryson, there's something going on there.
Yeah.
Typically, what you're looking for is something that's dated.
Yep.
You know, something that's kind of like, you know, just something that needs some renovations or major rehab.
I mean, shit, dude, it could be a deal. The other way you can figure it out, send it to a disposition wholesaler, send it to a couple buyers, get some feedback.
Yeah.
See what they say.
Yeah.
All right, from Marina on Instagram. Do I need to get my real estate license? I want to go on full time. I will get up on here and tell you to get your real estate license. Do you have to? No. I just think that there's a lot of opportunity that people miss out on by not having the real estate license. There's a few different things.
It depends on what state she's in.
That too. There's a lot of regulations where right now you are required to have a real estate license to wholesale after maybe a certain amount of completed deals.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a regulation in the next 5 years anyway. But then also, let's say that you're going to go direct to seller. The number one complaint you get is going to be that I want too much money. You flip your hat around, you're now a realtor.
Yeah, you know, I think that it's a huge advantage. I think that over the next 5 years, it's going to be required throughout the country.
Yep.
You see different states. You can just Google which states require a real estate license for wholesaling, and that'll let you know. And if it does, get it.
Yep.
If it does, I mean, at some point,
It's going to be
almost all of us have either somebody on our staff or us ourselves have a license.
You're still licensed, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still licensed. So have been since 2004. So you get to get get referral fees. You get access to the MLS.
The
you have
MLS
easier
alone,
conversations with the agents. They trust you more than just somebody off the street. So there you go.
For sure.
Great question.
From Terrell. How do you trade your time for money? It's a great question. You want to take that one
You
first?
pick up the phone and you call people. That's it.
Is that what TTP means?
Talk to people, Terrell. Talk to people. Literally, find ugly houses. Get their address. Put it into batchskiptracing.com. Now you have their phone number. And you call them. And you ask them if they would consider an offer on their property there. And then from there, they only give you 6 responses. Yes, no, maybe in the future, how much will you give me, who are you, and how'd you get my number? And if you know the responses to those, to their responses, you're going to feel a lot more confident. You're going to do it over and over and over.
Yep.
So in the beginning, if you don't have money to spend for marketing for people to call you, you have to go to them. Or if you just want to go gangster with it, just go to the doors. Just go knock on the doors. Ugly house, knock on the door. Hey, I wanted to see if you would sell this property. Nobody's there. It's vacant. Knock on the 2 houses next to them and the 3 across the street and get the scoop.
Yep.
And then if you still can't, then you get the owner's phone number and you call them. And you still can't, then you text them. And if you still can't, then you find what their mailing address, their tax mailing address is from the tax assessor, right? You can get that all this stuff on Deal Machine, dealmachine.com. That's your Driving for Dollars app. It's with the TTP discount.
Yep.
You get the biggest discount. It's like $50 or something a month, and you get all that information. And one of those ways, you're going to get a hold of the property owner and ask them if they would consider an offer. That's how you trade it.
How do you know how much to offer on a house?
Well, that's a whole thing. So
do you have
to
that
make
chart?
it very simply, thank you, Matt. If you'll pull that up, you can go to Zillow. And what I like doing, Ryan, is I like going Zillow, Realtor.com, and Redfin. Actually, Redfin in non-disclosure states does a really good job of pulling comparables. You scroll down on Redfin.
Yep.
Will you pull up any address on Redfin, and I'll show what we're talking about, and we'll scroll through it. And you get those 3 addresses.
Okay.
Lump them together, add them up, divide by 3, get an average price for that property, and then use this chart real quick, Matt. Sorry, I'm throwing you all over the place. This is because you've been the Zillow, the 50, 6650. Yep, there you go.
Purple one.
And then here you go. If the estimate or those 3 combined is over $250,000, then you want to be about 66% of that price. If it's between $249,000 and $100,000, 50%, and if it's $100,000, offer 25%.
There you go.
100,000 or less. There you go. And while we're waiting, you can pull up another question if we have it, and we'll pull up Redfin when we have a moment.
Cool. Throw up an address.
Yeah.
A process to get a website on.
Yeah.
You ever think about it that you trade your time for money all the time, starting when you're 16, right? You trade an hour of your time for $18 at McDonald's. When you go to a corporate job, you trade 40 hours a week for $40,000 a year. But now we trade 2-3 hours of calling for $40,000 per deal.
I know.
So now you can scale it up.
The mentality that you have is every hour that you're calling, you need to imagine I'm standing there in this shirt just looking at you, and I'm standing there and I'm giving you $1,000 every hour that you're making those calls.
Yep.
Cash, boom, $1,000. $1,000.
Dude, you wouldn't be able to get people off that phone.
I would have to tear everybody off the phone.
Absolutely.
If somebody was standing over anybody watching this and making calls, you would have to be torn off the phone.
Absolutely.
Because you try to put in 100,000. So go down, Matt, and you'll see. Go down, and it has.
It's the map right.
Keep going. Nope.
Okay.
Keep going. And it's got right there nearby property details. Keep going. Keep going. It's going to have the map of comparables. There we go. There we go. Hold on.
Comparable to nearby neighborhoods.
Yep. No. Go up. Sorry. It's kind of confusing if I can't do it myself.
Yeah, you should just do it on your laptop.
Huh? I know. No. Go up. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. They do a little map thing here where
There
they
it is
show
right
you the
there.
comparables.
Market insights.
No, keep going. Yep. Estimate. Oh, right down. Yep. There it is. See how it says that? And then it says learn more. Oh, I don't know what it doesn't have it for this one.
There
it is. There it is. There's the comps. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really, really effective. Really good.
Let's find it.
So there you go. Huh?
Once you find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There we go. Boom.
Good
There you go,
stuff.
guys. I'm gonna use Batch Dialer, but I need a phone number to call from. I don't want to use it. They give you the caller ID,
yeah.
but yeah, Tim Tim, I'm going to use Batch Dialer, but I need a phone number to be calling from. I don't want to use Google Voice. What would you recommend for a service? They give you the caller ID. You can call right through your computer.
Yep. You just got to pick the area code.
That's it.
That's it.
You got it.
Ryan, do you always close on your deals? I wish. No, I'd tell you, like, we cancel probably between 5 to 10 a month. It just depends. But with that, we also close 15 to 20. So.
No, he's saying, do you buy them?
Oh,
or you assigning them?
So no, we assign most of ours. We double close on anything like where it's gonna be like 50K plus, or if I could tell the agent or the seller is going to have an issue. But recently, we actually just haven't really been caring. I'm just like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I was using a line that actually you recommended. The assignment fee is paid for by the buyer.
Yeah.
So like we have one right now where yesterday the agent was flipping out. She's like, this needs to be disclosed per the AAR contract on this line to this line. This is a material fact that was not disclosed to the seller. And I'm like, this is called equitable interest.
Yeah.
And she's, of course, making us disclose it all.
Yeah.
I told her to go talk to her broker. Just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Would it have been easier to double close? Sure. But we ended up saving an extra 5-ish thousand.
Did it close?
We closed on that one, I think, March 2nd.
Is she going to have, does she have issues now?
I will find out after the show.
All right.
And she better not.
How do I know the market I'm in is fit for wholesaling? Ruwan asks. It is.
The market is yes.
If there are ugly houses, it is. I mean, here's the thing. I would say if you're in a major market, if you have over 500,000 people in your market, fantastic. If you have a smaller market, there's still opportunities there. But yeah, the challenge that you run into with smaller markets is the cash buyers, the buyers that you're going to bring in and buy these properties. And in smaller markets, some of them team together. Like there's 3 or 5 main investors, and so they get really, really lower prices. It's not like a free market because there's not a ton of cash buyers in the area, which I found if you can raise the funds to close on the deals, you destroy these guys because they want these huge margins and you can take over the whole market, which is awesome because they're just old and crusty, but they are. And but in your major markets, if you have over 500,000, you're crushing, bro.
So
no problem.
No South Dakota.
I mean, there's opportunities. It's just, are there cash buyers that are looking to do flips, looking to do holds in the area?
You got it.
Yeah.
All right. From Brendan, if you were to go back to when you both started your businesses, what would you have done differently to grow quicker? Damn, that's a great question. I would have started thinking bigger a lot quicker. At a young age, I had a lot of limiting beliefs, but I also just didn't know like where to go. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, especially those that are under 30 watching the show. There's a lot of like paths to follow, especially in real estate. So to actually go out and make sure that everyone that you're trying to follow and replicate is credible, I just wish I was thinking a lot, like, I don't know, a lot bigger, much sooner on.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
I would remember quicker's not always better.
Amen.
Okay? And growth is, are you growing? Focus on growing your profits.
There you
growing how much you're taking home to buy your assets for you and your family. Okay? So a couple different distinctions there. But for me, I would have not been a cash buyer employee, a CBE. I sold the same I sold every property, the same 3 buyers every time, and they'd beat me up on price, and I would make like $12,000 to $15,000, and I would see them make $30,000 to $40,000 on top of it, even after they beat me up on price. And I thought that, you know what, as long as I build a relationship with this buyer that, you know, it can close on these deals and do a good job, it's all good. And I was, you know, it was new, and I wanted to make sure it got done and it got through the finish line. So I wanted to go with somebody that had a reputation for that. And I realized everybody wants these deals, and everybody wants to pay a lot more for these deals. And I went from having a deal that got daisy chained 4 times to none.
Wow.
Nobody daisy chains their stuff.
Really?
We sell it straight. Rarely,
Okay.
very rarely, does somebody else have enough to add on top to sell to their buyers.
There you go.
Yep.
You're milking that thing.
Well, we go direct to the actual cash buyers that are going to do the flips as opposed to just selling it to wholesalers.
And how do you go direct to the end buyer? Are you guys using a specific system or anything?
You built, we have Investor Lift, but we've built an incredible cash buyer database here in Phoenix before that.
Okay.
Yeah, through real estate agent, building a lot of real estate agents. We have a VA that adds cash buyers every single day to our cash buyer database through trading lists with Jared Vidalis and with Steve Trang.
I'll trade you 15 for your 50,000 all day.
Yeah, I bet.
All day.
Yeah. So I having a big, robust cash buyer database is really important.
Good stuff.
Yep. Hey, come on, Juan. I love that. Hey, Brent, I just received my $15,000 check from a JV deal. Cash, flying money. Boom. I think, Matt, I'm going to break this bell a lot faster. I just have a feeling. I just have a feeling.
That's the vibe.
I feel like I'm just getting stronger. All right.
All right, from Gary.
Yeah.
Is there a meeting or networking event coming up in Arizona? Next Tuesday, the best meetup in town. Absolutely. We've got Jem Montero and Taylor, I'm going to butcher her last name, Farrar. They are coming as guest speakers to share their story.
What's their story?
Jem, do you want to speak on Jem's?
Oh, I love Jem. Jem's great. He went from flipping shoes to now doing amazing flips with amazing design, all in a rapid amount of time that anyone can do. I don't want to spoil his story, and I want you guys to come to hear it because he has a lot to share in his process. But
what market?
Out here.
Here.
He's working with Templeton. He runs all their flips as like the project manager, and then he was going from basically corporate 9 to 5 to millionaire in less than 12 months. So unbelievable. Taylor is the girl behind the scenes that no one really knows about. She is doing this whole like woman empowerment within the real estate community. I love it. Love to see everything. And she is just the one that basically runs that entire operation with Templeton. So we are sharing their entire story. We provide food, drinks, all that fun jazz. And then we got a lot of fun announcements and big cash prizes. So,
all right.
Yes.
Awesome. Here you go. What do you tell yourself to get over the nerves of just hopping on the phone? I get this, Noah.
Yep.
First of all, there's a great video that I want you to watch giving you 6 steps to feeling more confident on the phone. But here's something that I think is a big hurdle for a lot of people. Don't fiddle around with your lists and your dialer and anything else before you get on the phone. Okay, you want it set up to you select a list and you press go, and you're not even thinking, it's already starting, and you're starting to have these conversations. Because if you have too many other things, you are going to be distracted, right? It's called creative avoidance. You're literally just like, oh, I got to do this before I start this. And listen, I've been there. I completely understand. But you got to knock that all the way out. You got to really attach why are you doing this? Like, what is the point here? You know what I mean? Are you like at a breaking point in your life where you know you need to do this so that it changes everything? Whether that's just you don't want to do your job anymore, or you just have no money, or you're in a weird situation where you have a bunch of debt or something like this. Like, get to that point where you're just feeling it. You're feeling that energy. You're feeling that enthusiasm. And one other tip that I will tell you, Noah, is do not go on social media before you get on the phone.
Yep.
Do not do it, because whether it be positive, negative, neutral, whatever it is, it's going to distract you. Yep. It's going to put different thoughts in your brain and whatever else. What I would do, Noah, is I would watch 10, 15 minutes of this channel. I would practice your scripts, role play a little bit, and then I would press go on that thing and rock and roll, and that's going to really help you out. The nerves, the reason you have nerves is because it's new and you don't have reps yet. So get in those reps. Really make it a focus that you talk to 1,000 people about real estate as soon as possible.
Amen.
Anything?
I like the 5-second rule that you said. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're calling realtors, so it's not necessarily a list, but just go for it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in Texas and having trouble getting comps. What do you all recommend?
Yeah.
Redfin, I guess.
Yeah, I mean Redfin. Yeah, Redfin's fantastic. I still, PropStream and Batch Leads. Batch Leads does a great job in those non-disclosure markets of estimating.
Yep.
So they're pulling from those things for you and kind of estimating what it is. The other thing is you are going to have to build a very strong, loving, and connected and proactive and win-win relationship with a real estate agent.
Amen.
You will, because
Amen.
you need to be able to check your numbers with a real estate agent because they have access to information that you simply don't.
Or get licensed.
Or get licensed. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right.
Jason, great to hear from you, buddy. After running the numbers and your offer price is higher than listing price, do you offer list price or lower knowing that people can see the list price?
Fantastic question. Pick up the phone and call the realtor. Do they have a lot of offers? Because while you may think that offering list price is going to be just fine, if they've got 20 offers on the table that are above list price, the only way you're going to get it done at list is by waiving your commission or having them represent you. So you really have to just call and build a rapport with the agent and figure out what exactly the situation is and where their offer standpoint is.
Do you have a course coming out? Are you allowed to talk about that?
We can talk about
Are
it.
you,
Yeah,
because you got a backlog
Yeah.
of people on the wait list
We do.
coming out April 1st.
April 1st. No joke.
Agent Investor,
Agentinvestors.com.
which is a play on a lot of things. AI, I love that.
Yes, sir.
Out of this world.
Yeah, we
See how that landed?
Oh my gosh. April 1st. Yep, we have the course being released. I'm going to be officially announcing it at the meetup on Tuesday. We're going to be going into further detail about all the information that's going to be on there.
If people are interested in that.
Yep. So reach out to me on Instagram. We've got a little link right now where it's basically like a whitelist that we've got people already registered, ready to go. So we've got a few really, really, really cool things with that.
Is it course coaching? What is it?
All of the above, depending on which package you pick,
Love
and
it.
then I'm making it affordable so that it should be able to really make a difference for the community.
Awesome. Look at that. So definitely check that out, guys. Be the first ones. You know how this works,
Well,
right?
yeah, and also too, I mean, there's a little bit of benefit. I can't give away the secrets, but there's some benefit to be one of the firsts.
Right.
So
There you go. Awesome. Annie, looking to get away from assignments, what are your thoughts on adding cash buyer onto contract as a co-buyer with 99% vesting, then quick claim the remaining 1% right before closing? Sure, but why are you looking to get away from a? Maybe she's in a state that requires a license.
Okay.
So that's one way to get around it. Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Just make sure you're getting paid, Annie. I don't care how you structure it.
Yeah.
Just get paid. So just make sure that it's going through the title company. Make sure the title company understands what you're doing. You might have to educate them a little bit, or maybe they structured it for you. But either way, it doesn't matter to me whether you sign an assignment or you do something by putting on a co-buyer and the vesting and quick claiming and all that. Just remember, if you go on title, on title, it is a short-term capital gains.
Yep.
Talk to your CPA, all right?
All goes away.
Your short-term capital gains versus fee income. Just see if there's any difference there for them because it's a real estate business. Just let them know it's a real estate business and just see if that affects you at all. All right? That's the only thing that I would say. Because when you go on and actually close on it, it's looked at differently by the IRS. Mike.
I have a VA that makes calls, generates a few leads, and I do some direct mail. But now that I'm calling a few hours a day, every day, I'm now in control of my business. It feels great. TTP. Dude, that's awesome. So right now, he's got VAs that's making calls, he's generating a few leads, and he's doing direct mail. Dude, it sounds like you are there. If you're not already in the full-time in this business, you are this close, but that's awesome.
Mike is. Yeah, I know Mike. Mike's a
full-time?
TTP family guy.
Full-time?
Yes,
That's
Mike,
awesome, man.
absolutely.
He has full control.
That is incredible. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, he's doing amazing things out of Boulder,
Colorado?
in Colorado.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. Brent, how are you investing right now other than single-family rentals? I don't do single-family rentals.
We just talked about this.
Yeah, we're just talking about this. I'm looking into I'm not going to be doing the syndication, buying into syndications.
What's the difference? What is syndication for those?
So basically, people that want to put together syndications are first they find the deals
Yep.
and they raise the money.
Okay.
And then they get a percentage of that the actual deal.
Okay.
And if they're really good, they're getting paid in a few years.
Yep.
And really giving a lot of benefits to the investors.
Tax purposes wise.
Yeah, but purchasing, when you put in $1 million into these, you typically in that year you can get 60 to 70% reduction in your taxes through rapid depreciation.
So like if you put $1 million in, you get 600,000 written off.
So say you make $2 million a year.
Okay.
You put $1 million in.
Yes.
They'll give you 600 to 700,000. Now you're not getting taxed on $2 million. You're getting taxed on 1.3, 1.4.
Okay.
So it reduces the amount of tax liability that you have. Remember, the government does not want to own real estate. They do not want to manage real estate. That's why there is a huge benefit to owning real estate. It is a cheat code. Anybody that has heard that whole very famous Donald Trump, I don't pay taxes because I'm smart, quote that he has had several times is because of this process. He's buying real estate to reduce the amount of personal income taxes.
Yep.
All right?
So
people do not want to own the government truly doesn't want to have a tremendous amount of jobs, although they do, but that's because they're the biggest business in the world. And two, they don't want to provide housing. So they give us benefits for both being entrepreneurs and for owning real estate.
For sure. They said that other than buying single-family rentals, and I believe you said you're not doing that. What are you doing then?
No, listen, it's a lifestyle thing, Vasily. Owning a lot of individual rentals means having somebody manage that, and you have to manage those managers. And in my experience, managers come and go, and then it's like a whole thing. So there's huge advantage to it, and if that's your strategy, that's your strategy. But I'm focused on wholesaling and coaching, and on top of all of that is my family. So
Absolutely.
I don't have if I'm not focused, everything starts to get a little bit weaker.
For sure.
Yep. So I'd rather buy into a passive investment that I don't get the full benefit of, but it still does a lot of benefit in the long run.
For sure. All right, from Brandon. Ryan, in any given market using Privy, how many opportunities become available on a daily basis? Properties that you would personally offer and close on. Brent Daniels, the GOAT. Woo! I don't care. Love it. I don't use Privy, so I did it for the challenge just to support the challenge itself. There was a lot of glitches and stuff within the system that I was struggling with, so opportunities and all that, I don't have any KPIs for you. It just didn't have a good flow for me to consistently make offers and comp properties.
What do you think, just from your experience in our market, how many opportunities a day are you guys looking at?
Without Privy or with it?
No, without.
Without?
Just in your normal.
Thousands a day.
Yeah.
Literally, there's like 3,500 to 4,000 active listings as of this week.
Right.
So I would say 3,500 to 4,000 a day.
So you look at every deal.
Every deal. Like we are going.
But how many of those are filtered out that you're taking serious and putting offers on?
Probably 400, 500.
Just about 400 or 500
every week.
Every day.
You're putting 500 offers out.
No, every day we're putting out between 20-ish to like 30 offers.
Okay, so in a week.
Yes.
150,
give or take.
Out of.
Right now on the month,
4,000?
what are we at on the month? Like 150 right now?
Just around 120, 150.
150 what?
Offers. This month has been a little bit tougher with just the lack of inventory.
Right.
So.
Okay. So if let's just say that 5,000 homes come on the market.
Yes. We'll look at probably about 500 to 1,000 of them. We'll submit offers in about 150 to 200.
All right. So 150 into 5,000 is what percent? Anybody?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Albert?
Just trying to get an idea for you, Brandon.
3%.
3%.
And then our close rate's pretty good on that 3%.
Listen, I mean, it falls in line with this. I mean, that's lower than the 6 to 10% that are in distress. Distressed people still put their house on the market.
Absolutely, dude. They put it on the market because they think they're going to get more money.
Right.
And then when it doesn't sell, here we are.
But also the follow-up is really good because what we offered yesterday is not the offer that they might take today.
Right.
There's a lot of different things when you follow up that, oh, yeah, today something changed. Now I'll take your offer.
For sure.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, so you could use it in markets. They're not in every market, so there's some struggles that come with it. I think that there's a lot of potential growth for it. So let me know how it goes.
Awesome. Come on, JVC.
Okay.
Javier, 10K. Okay. On my way to a closing 10K deal from JVC.
This is why we don't have a bell at our office.
TTP family guy here. TTP family. Amazing what happens. Would you guys recommend doing Airbnb to reach financial freedom the fastest?
Good question. My personal belief on Airbnb is that it works in destination location. Right now in Scottsdale, Arizona, there is more short-term rentals than there is long-term rentals. So the big misconception I'm seeing all over social media is that people believe that the ones that are getting Airbnbs are stealing the opportunities from homeowners and renters. My belief, again, I just don't really mess around in the Airbnb space. I think destination-wise, I would.
Xavier, just like many markets in California, in Washington, in Colorado, in Hawaii, in all of these destinations, the state is only giving out a certain amount of golden tickets.
Yep.
And it's going to happen all over the place in any of these destination places because, listen, the state gets a lot of revenue from convention centers, hotels, resorts, all of this business, all of that tourism business is really important for the state's economy, right? And if some of that's getting pulled away by individual owners, the people that own those hotels and those resorts and those convention centers get all loud, spend a ton of money, lobby their local state governments, and they require that there's only a certain amount of golden tickets in a market. So this is not going to run off forever. You got to find them in areas that people want to, travel to. I think it's a great opportunity.
Yep.
If you can get into a market that has good volume of activity and doesn't require a license.
Yep.
Or doesn't require a...
And HOAs kill it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I like, honestly, my spots are Sedona, Big Bear, Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, those kind of destination locations. I've been trying to refrain from the word saturated, but I think that Airbnb is getting there.
Noah Reisman.
All right. When y'all first started wholesaling, were you ever worried about not finding a cash buyer? I actually never had that concern. I just felt that cash buyers were the easiest to come by once you had a deal, because if it is a deal, it will sell.
Yes. In the beginning, yes, Noah. That's why I sold it to the same 3 to 5 people all the time. And then I realized, wait a second, there's way more buyers out there. There's way more opportunities. No, if you have a deal, it will sell.
Yeah.
If you have a deal, it'll sell.
For sure.
So, I would not let that stop you from taking action. Carlos, with these new laws, a sign of contract will only be illegal to do public. Does that mean you can assign to close buyers without blasting it? And does that affect the double closing tactic at all? The ability to market it, I don't know. I don't know the fine print, Carlos. I understand what you're saying. You know, if you don't blast it out to everybody, or if you don't put it public, or if you're not publicly marketing it, can you just sell it to your homies and make a ton of money? Maybe. I would check.
We don't know what the loopholes are yet.
Yeah, I would check, but there's a lot of different double closing. Double closing is basically at the title company determines if you can do that. The title company determines if they will do it for you. There's no laws that I know of that restrict it, but maybe in some states there are. I haven't heard of any. So you could do well, certainly not a double closing. That's a double escrow. A double escrow means you use your cash buyer's funds to pay for your closing, and so you don't have to bring in your own money. But if you bring in your own money to buy something and close on it,
double close,
and somebody else wants to close on it at a higher value the same hour, the same day with their own money,
double escrow.
That is business. That is essentially what business is.
Yeah, all day.
You have something, you have a product here, which is a house, and you buy it for X and you sell it for Y and you make a profit. That's business. So that's not going to stop. So there you go.
Oof. All right. Inspire Progress. How do you structure your wholesaling business? LLC or a corp? So we are not attorneys, but mine is an S corp. So
LLC.
LLC S corp. Yeah. What's yours?
LLC.
Just an LLC.
Yeah.
Are you structured as an S corp or anything? Or
Yep.
Are you okay? Yep.
But just talk to a CPA. They'll set you up right away.
They'll break it all down for you.
Yep. Charles, How can I make a deal when two parties own a house and one wants to sell? 2 apartments, 1 house.
Oh, I love this answer. So if they're 50-50, the one that wants to sell could force the other to sell. I don't ever like recommend. I don't want to get into the details.
Through what, legal action?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but who's going to do that?
People.
Yeah.
Like, we got people.
No, I mean, listen, you need to get them all on board,
Yeah.
Charles. If they're not all on board, then you have to go, okay, here's an attorney to go talk and force this person to sell this property. And then it's going to take 18 months to 2 years in this climate. And it's going to be some virtual meeting that gets pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. I don't have the patience for that.
It's more
a little bit
than
of
you
follow-up
think,
here.
But the problem is the price. When you get to that point where they're like, okay, I'm going to sell, usually what ends up happening is the 2 parties are not on the same page because they weren't on the same page to begin with.
They'll go, yeah, I'll sell it, but I want to
$1 million.
sell it. Yeah.
Worth $200,000.
Yeah. So, listen, there has to be 2 things, Charles, for these deals. Equity and motivation. If the other people aren't motivated for whatever reason, you're going to have a problem with that. We're deal finders, not deal creators. Stay focused. Stay focused.
One of my favorite quotes.
Yep.
From Tyler C. What is the best CRM to use along with Batch Dialer? I notice I'm having a lot of issues with Batch. Should I go to Call Tools?
Tyler, what issues are you having? I'm really curious because we've been following this a lot. I've been hearing it a lot, and then I have Batch call the people, and it's always user error. So I need to know what your issues are. Because we've been pushing, right? Hondra's nodding her head. We've been pushing with everybody in the TTP family. We've been pushing the TTP coaching program. Anybody that's reached out on Instagram or Facebook, I've got them straight to somebody that works right here. They're right here down the hall. There's something usually with and listen, I blame them that it's not easier to use. Because if it's too tough to set up or if there's updates that are throwing things off and you don't know what to do, I get it. Like, it should be a lot easier. So that's what I'm pushing on them. But I really want to know what your issue is with it so that I can get somebody on there with you. And then CRM, a lot of people like Investor Fuse. I used Investor Fuse for a really long time. And then Rafael Cortez built me out a custom, souped up, incredible CRM,
Is it Podium?
but it was like $5,000, and the Investor Fuse is like $150 a month.
Gotcha. Yeah, we use Podium.
I mean, if you're just getting started, can you get me my original CRM? Is it around here somewhere?
Oh God, I know this.
Here we go.
Physical copy. Here we go.
Here
we go.
we go.
How old are you?
I don't know. 68. I feel like it sometimes.
Well, I only asked because of this.
This is my original CRM right here. It says it has Monday. It has 1 through 31 here, and then I had another one that's smaller. That's January through December, and I would have my leads.
Oh boy.
Oh, there it is. Here we go.
There you go.
Here's the 12 months, and I had this. Listen, I did my first $1 million this year. I have like 50 students that did their first $1 million this year. And I'd write a lead, and I'd say, you know what, I got to call them, what's today, the 24th? I got to call them on the 25th. Oh, 25th, here we go. Call, boom.
You know who still uses that CRM?
Luke.
Luke Rupp.
I know, Luke
Wow.
Rockhold, who will probably make $5 million this year, does the same exact thing.
No
He
kidding.
cuts them off.
Is that the
Viking
guy?
boys.
Yeah. That's
Still
awesome.
uses it.
I'm telling
Ain't
you.
broke, don't fix it.
I was just gonna say that.
How do I find their phone number after driving for dollars? Batchskiptracing.com. So what you're going to do is you're going to get on your laptop after driving around, or if you're using Deal Machine, you're going to export it, and you're going to put it into batchskiptracing.com and get those phone numbers. I think they have a $50 minimum, so make sure, and I think it's 14 cents an address, so make sure that you do the math there, get enough in your list to be able to pull that. I mean, they'll give you a credit. You just have to put in $50 as like a deposit.
Time, yeah.
Yeah.
Recharges or whatever.
This kind of leads on to the next.
Hey guys, what programs are a must for new wholesalers? Oscar Banda.
Agent investors.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
No. Yeah.
It just depends on.
I was just gonna say that.
It depends on what you are looking for, Oscar. I think you can do a lot of damage subscribing to this channel. and following it. I think you could do a lot of damage free, and ttpinsider.com have a ton of resources and tools in there for you to use. And then if you want to take it to the next level, TTP coaching at ttpcall.com. Coach one-on-one with you around the country.
There you go.
Access to support calls every single day, Monday through Thursday. Access to an incredible community. All of that stuff. If you're looking for that, that is the place to go. It is a must. And if you're not subscribed,
don't
subscribe.
spend the money yet.
If you're ready to take it to the next level by working with agents, getting deals off the MLS, April 1st, it's coming down. Agent investor Ryan Zolan invested a good amount of money buying that domain name. Which is smart. I think it's smart. Yep. We did the same thing for talktopeople.com.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Remodel you. Just stick with Mojo Dialer, guys. I've had multiple talks with Evo, and he could never fix the latency issues I had with Batch Dialer. There you go.
There you go.
Latency issues. That's the issues. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah. There you go. Mojo Dialer. Okay. They got to figure that out. It's a big problem.
For sure.
Latre.
Once you have a real estate license, do you have to be with a brokerage in order to double dip on a deal? Yes. You do. So when you're first getting started, you have to go underneath a broker where you're going to hang your license. And once you hang your license, if it's active, it goes under a broker. And then you usually have a split agreement with that broker where every deal you do that there's commission involved, they get a piece of.
Yep.
So.
And a lot of the times, Latre, it is you can get a 100% commission if you just go to like a
HomeSmart, my home
fee for EXP.
EXP, I think they're 80-20, 90-10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. Dylan.
You messed up in spelling.
Okay. When texting people, do you ask if they're interested in selling or if they would consider an offer on their property? Which approach do you prefer? With texting, Dylan, you have to get super creative. I mean, some people just say like, hi or sup.
Yep.
Or whatever. You got to get a response to come back, and then you can ask them if they would consider. Because what happens is the carriers have blocked a lot of the common verbiage that we use.
Yep.
Do you want to sell? Out of the blue, random. I know this is random, but I'm talking about this property here. You know what I mean? You could have it just text them their address and see if they respond to that. You know, you got to get real creative, Dylan. Real creative.
They're really cracking down on that.
Well, it's just the carriers. You know, the carriers don't want people to move off of their platform of texting because they're getting spammed, and then go to WhatsApp or go to DMs or go to anything else that would take away their
money. Yeah, I get it.
Their value, really. So I get it. If I were them, I'd do it too.
It all checks out.
Yep. Awesome. This show flew past.
I know. I was just looking at the time. Like, is it really?
Dang. Albert, take this one.
Forgive me if I don't pronounce your name right, but Chiara. Coming across a deal in New Jersey is tough right now, but really it's about finding the right pain point of a seller. They may not care if they can get more money, if you can help them with timing, easiness, etc. That is so true. We just had a deal come through, I believe from Brandon. He talked to the agent. It was the same thing. They did not care about price as their main factor. They just wanted an easy transaction. And it's really hard for some people to wrap their head around, like, well, why would they give up their more money for real quick? Well,
which deal?
Poinsettia. But your explanation the other day is like, you go to a car dealership, you could sell your car more on Craigslist, but why do you go to a dealership? Speed and convenience.
Of course.
So very good point. I love it. Talk to the agent. You'll never know what the distressor or pain point is until you talk to people.
That's it. Love
TTP.
it. TTP, baby. Claudio, how many cold callers do you recommend to generate enough opportunities to hit the $84K a month?
It's a very specific number.
It's a very specific number.
That's the 83,000 months to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
83,333.
Yep.
I don't use cold callers, so I'm not sure.
You could have one.
Yeah.
It depends on your market. Depends on your average deal size.
Right.
So I could get that done with 1 to 2.
Okay.
1 to 2 and a texter. But I mean, we're above that. I mean, we're about double that with that efforts. But we also get internet leads, referral leads. Those are our 4: call, text, internet, and referrals. And so Yeah, I mean, you could get it done with one really, really good one. They have to be experienced.
Okay.
They have to sound like they live in the neighborhood.
Yep.
And they have to be able to deal with the repetitious boredom of making calls all day, every day, and being on the ball with it. So, yeah, there you go. CallMotivatedSellers.com has the best. Just telling you, we did a breakdown, a cold call breakdown of a deal that we locked up in Casa Grande for $68,000.
Yeah, you told us about that one.
And selling for, whatever. We'll go mid twos probably. And I had the actual call recording that I broke down, and the dude's like, "Yeah, I don't care. I owe 48 on it. Give me 50. I'm cool."
Wow.
We're like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just in court proceedings with my ex-wife. If I get it, do you think you could give me that?" Yeah. It's like one of those calls that you call. It's a lay down, but not even a lay down. A huge lay down. And I'm telling you, if you talk to enough people, you'll find that.
Oh, absolutely.
You absolutely will find it.
From Vasily, is it okay if I show up at the mailing address of a vacant house to speak with the owner, or is that a bit creepy? No, I think that's a brilliant option. It's like Brent said, you've crossed off all the other options. By the time you go to the mailing address of the house that's vacant, the odds of them being there, that's probably their primary residence, because all of the mail from the house that is vacant is being sent to the tax mailing address.
Yeah.
So absolutely, knock on their door, have a conversation with them. And if they don't answer there, do the same thing. Talk to the neighbors on both sides, 3 across the street.
Yeah, if you can't get them on the phone and you can't text them and they won't respond to texts, and maybe you've mailed them or whatever else, or maybe you just want to go to the door and have that conversation with them, yeah, absolutely. Don't be creepy, Vasily.
Hello?
Creepy is the way that you approach it, what you're dressed like, how you look, the way that your breath smells, and the way that you stand at the door when you ring the doorbell. Stand away, look out at the street, but you're kind of side so they can see you, and then just have a smile on your face and have a conversation with them. Don't be standing at the door,
like
right on the door, and yeah. Don't be peeping around. Be respectful. You got it. I know you would.
Just open the door.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. From Eric, is the skip
Not even close.
Is the skip tracing?
Unfortunately, Eric. Yeah.
Okay.
Is the skip tracing on Deal Machine reliable as much as Batch? No.
No. Batch is better.
Nothing is. Batch has the highest. It's not even close. Not even close. I've tested them all. I wish it was. Samuel. Hey, Brent. I have one caller and an acquisition manager.
Beautiful.
What would you recommend for scaling, such as KPIs, list tweaking, etc.? I also want to expand my market overall. Any tips on scaling? I feel like there's a few questions in there.
Yeah.
What would you recommend for scaling, such as KPIs, list tweaking, etc.? Well, it depends on how much you're making. I mean, I wouldn't hire anybody if you're making if
5K,
if you can
10K,
get the most out of everybody that you have. Are you getting the most out of everybody that you have? Are you, if you've got a cold caller, are they doing a better job? Are they getting you one deal for 800 conversations? Because that's the baseline. If they're better than that, then yeah, try to find somebody that's similar to them and squeeze as much out of that as possible. Remember, when you're hiring, bring in as much as you can to bring more leads into the pipeline.
For sure.
Right?
More opportunities.
That's it. If you're at that point, I want you calling, generating leads. I want your team calling and generating leads. But most of your expenses for your business should be lead generation. There you go.
All right, this question has been asked several times.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I'm just going to put it out there.
Will the conflict in Europe affect the housing market in the U.S.?
That's a great question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the crystal ball?
I really don't know. I know that this thing's been brewing for 8 years, and I think that everybody is looking for the shoe to drop on. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are looking for something bad to happen to the real estate market before they make any decisions. I don't care. Listen, not that I don't care about the people and everything, all the incredible dramatic events that are happening there that I can't even imagine, and my heart goes out for real. I've been watching it and looking at it and really understanding it, but I don't think that we're sending troops there. I think that the U.S. government will impose sanctions, and this is something that's been brewing forever. I don't even know what's going on. I mean, I do, but I don't know if we really know what's going on, if we know the full story of what's going on. So will it affect the housing market? Yeah,
Maybe.
it'll go up.
Yeah, right.
You know, nobody wants to.
The supply is just so low right now that, like, it's supply and demand 101. I don't see this changing in the next 30, 60, 90 days.
If the news affects your ability to go out and find discounted properties, you are paying attention to the wrong things.
Correct.
For real. Blast right through it. I get it. I was thinking about this, Ron. I really was. And I was looking at it, and I watched it at like 11:30 last night when, you know, a bomb went off or whatever. I don't know if it hit anywhere, if it was just a warning. I don't know what, you know, what the news is, but I know that Biden just went and said, you know what, we're going to impose financial sanctions on Russia, which, if you know anything about politics, is like a little slap on the wrist. It is. It's not military action. So we'll see. You never know. I started cold calling yesterday. Yes, I'm new to the biz, so that was my breakthrough. Janet, I'm ringing this for you. Come on.
Let's go.
That is incredible, Janet.
Step one.
Look at you.
Just keep going. Keep going. Do not
Unstoppable.
Don't get distracted. Focus. Keep going.
Ugly houses, big checks. What's the best list to pull off of batch leads? John Johnson asks. That's awesome, John. Best is a very relative word.
Right.
Because you could pull very small niche lists through batch leads. You could pull the pre-foreclosures. You could pull the vacants. You could pull the tired landlords, multifamily landlords. Test them all. It's all different in every market. Test them all. There's no best list. The best list is driving for dollars. It's not even close. But then if you don't want to drive for dollars, if you just want to pull it off the internet, remember, if you can pull a list with 4 or 5 filters and you get it in 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 minutes, so can 100, 200, 300 people in your market in the same list.
Same day.
On the same day, in the same moment. So the easier it is to pull a list, the more people are going to be going after that list.
For sure.
So definitely build up your driving for dollars. But John, just to answer, I would test out your vacant list and see how accurate it is in your market. I would say that now it's more like 20 to 30% of the properties that we go after are vacant. But before it was like the reverse. It was like 80% of the properties that we found were vacant. So vacant properties always show distress, and there's millions of them. So I would try that out, John.
From Brian. Hey, Ryan, looking to get to the Astro Flipping Mastermind April. Hope you are there to get coaching by you. I will be. I'm speaking April 3rd, that Sunday. I think my time slot's like 9:45, 10 o'clock or something like that. So I'll be there speaking on MLS deals and how to work with agents. So look forward to seeing you there.
I will also be there.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
I don't know if it's Sunday.
You get that 1-2 punch.
That's it.
Let's
there
go.
you go. One more question.
Let's do it.
How do I know if it's not? Ron, you are focused on the wrong things, brother. You are putting way too much pessimism into your brain. It needs to be way more optimistic. Go out there and take your shots.
Literally.
Take your hits. Like, remove all of these fears that you have. I get it. And I'm not faulting you for it, but I get it. But you need to break this pattern of worrying about what's going on across the world, what's going on with your market, what's going on here. Find a property owner and have a quality conversation, and do that 200 times. You will get a deal. 200 times. Talk to 200 owners, you'll get a deal. The hardest part is it takes 90 days of consistently doing that before the engine starts running down the tracks, before you start going, right? That's the make or break in this business, is that first 90 days, building the habits, building the consistency, keeping the mindset strong. Block out all the other noise, Ron. Stay focused on positivity. Stay focused on optimism. Stay focused. You need to assume every person that you're talking to wants to sell to you at a discount.
Absolutely.
Wants you to solve their problem. They want to trade in their car to you, but for speed and convenience.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
You can clean up that car. You can spray the wheels down. You can get it smelling great. You can detail it and put it on Craigslist and sell it for way more, right? People can clean up their house, do showings, have inspections, have all these things, but they don't want to do it. They want to just go, here, give me cash for this and let me get out of this thing. I don't want to do anything to this property. That's the business that we're in.
Happens every single day.
Every single day, thousands of times a day.
Literally.
You can do it too. I am telling you, you can do it too. Block out all that noise.
Yep.
Block out all the noise. Pour in, get really good books. Really good business books are the plunger to plunge all of the crap that we have to deal with every single day, whether it be social media, news, life,
family.
Situations,
Yeah.
family,
All day.
drama,
Yep.
whatever it is. Really great books are your escape. It's the plunger to plunge all that crap out of your head and the people that you surround
I was
yourself
just
with.
going to follow it up with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not just saying this to like pump you up and give you something like, oh, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, rah, rah, rah. This is the facts. It is science. Talk to 200 people. Seriously.
Yep.
You got this.
Love it.
Awesome.
Dude.
Great show.
Fantastic show.
When? April 1st?
April 1st.
What's happening?
We're releasing a course, man.
Oh, my goodness.
We're getting into that
That's
game.
incredible.
We're making a difference.
Making a difference. That's right. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
That is bananas. So, guys, that's it for our show. Join us next week. We come every Thursday and try to provide as much value as possible and show you the blueprint to be a millionaire before 30. Love you guys. See you next week.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll.